I want to thank each one of you for this rare honor being bestowed on me. Even though I never worked in Hyderabad as such, after my education I went to the north to make a living. But I am gratified by the fact that people of my Janma Bhumi decided that I am worthy of this award. I am grateful to them. Potturi Venkateshwar Rao Garu, I never had the privilege of meeting him for the simple reason that I am Pravas Andhruni. I live in Delhi for the last 55 years, so I'm not been in touch with any of the distinguished editors and other journalist friends who have been operating from Hyderabad. Venkateshwar Rao Garu is one of those editors who almost carried his resignation letter in his pocket, and he was unafraid to write what he thought was good for the people of the region. Even though he came from Guntur, from 1969 onwards, he had been campaigning for a separate Telangana state, which is a remarkable thing considering that he came from Guntur. And he has worked for several newspapers. He spent nearly 3.5 decades working for more than a dozen newspapers. And he did a commendable job. And whenever he did something, and if his proprietors had a problem with that, he was happy to offer resignation. It was not accepted in many cases. In some cases it was accepted, but he played a very important role in trying to bring the Naxalites and the government when YSR was the chief minister of this state. It is a different matter. The discussions did not fructify, but the Naxalites were allowed to go back to the forest. That's a remarkable thing. He also did an exclusive series of stories about guillotines and other equipment being manufactured in a particular district in Telangana, and a series of articles were being published in the newspaper he was running at that point of time, Udayam, I think. And for a variety of reasons, they could not publish the last installment of that article, and he was not happy about that. He said people were expecting that article, but if it is not going to be published, then I do not want to be an editor with this newspaper. And he stood by his word, he resigned, and then he went away. So he is the last of some of the great editors our country or our state have produced, and he is a model for journalists of today. And today the profession has become more challenging because of the social media. People get to know about what is going on in real time on YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. So much so that some people have stopped reading newspapers, some people have stopped watching television. So in order to interest such people to read newspapers again and follow what is going on in the state or in the country, in the world, the job of today's journalist has become that much more challenging, particularly in a situation where most of the leading newspapers and TV channels are being controlled or run by business tycoons. So I am confident that the journalists who are practicing the profession right now and people who are studying journalism in different universities across the country will equip themselves to face this challenge the social media has created, and I do hope that they will tell the reader what is good for the country. There are many leaders who think, l'État c'est moi, I am the state. But as the Chief Minister said that the role of the media is opposition. So opposition should not be for the sake of opposition, but it is the duty of a journalist to become a public intellectual and plead for the people who are going to read his newspaper or who are going to watch his television channels. So I am confident that today's journalists and people who are training to become journalists will pursue the national interest and not worry too much about people who try to create obstacles in the functioning of journalists that will never succeed. Freedom of the press is very important, but some people say that freedom of the press actually means freedom of the people who own the press, not journalists. But I beg to differ that, and I believe and I hope that proprietors, business tycoons, politicians will give the freedom a journalist needs to reflect what is going on in a particular state or in the country as a whole. And so long as we have leaders of that kind, including the Chief Minister, the journalists do not need to fear. Thank you very much.